The first time I ever saw this photograph was in the USS Indiana cruise book, and I was told by Irene Thomas, the widow of Lieutenant J.G. Arthur Thomas, that she thought that was art in the photograph. Over a decade later, after Irene had passed away, her family found Art's Navy scrapbook, and inside was the original copy of this photo with an unbelievable message written on the back side. It said, "Larry Hawn, Aviation Machinist, mate 2nd class, Art Thomas Ensign A-1 August 7, 1945, recovering on USS Indiana after unsuccessful attempted rescue of Lieutenant J.G. Eurett Backman and Robert Watson, Aviation Machinist, mate 3rd class." After doing quite a bit of research, this is what happened on August 7, 1945. During the morning of August 7, 1945, the USS Indiana launched 2 seaplanes for an authorized routine patrol flight. In one of these planes was Aviation Machinist, mate 3rd class Robert B. Watson as radioman, with LTJG Everett Backman as the pilot. The day was beautifully clear with a calm sea and a very slight breeze. A normal launching was made, and Aviation Machinist, mate 3rd class Watson and LTJG Backman plane circled the ship and headed toward its assigned sector. The ship spoke to LTJG Backman, the plane's pilot, on the radio, and he answered there was no intimation of anything amiss. In the meantime, the pilot of the second plane was piloted by Ensign Arthur D. Thomas, USNR, and the radioman was Aviation Machinist, mate 2nd class Larry Hawn. The second plane was trying to catch up with the plane piloted by LTJG Backman, while Ensign Thomas was still approximately 300 yards behind LTJG Backman's plane. At this point, Thomas saw Backman's plane suddenly slip off to the left and spin down and struck the water 600 feet below with a terrific crash. The crash occurred at 8:02 a.m. local time. By the time Ensign Thomas could do a half circle and land a maneuver taking approximately 1 minute, there was no sign of the plane or its 2 occupants except for a small amount of floating debris and oil, through which Ensign Thomas searched carefully. A destroyer was directed to the scene of the crash and joined in the search. The destroyer reported finding several small pieces of wreckage in a large oil spot. Ensign Thomas' plane was still at the scene of the crash when the destroyer appeared. According to the captain of the USS Indiana, in a letter he wrote to the family of Aviation Machinist, mate 3rd class Robert B. Watson, "Due to the foregoing circumstances, I was forced to conclude that your son was definitely dead, even though his body was not recovered. Be sure to visit WWII veterans.org to read the profiles of these 4 men and thousands of other World War II veterans."